Welcome back to the 128 KB podcast. We are back once again.
Due to lack of popular demand.
Yes, and you eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed that I've moved.
Yes, AJ has
finally
moved. That's why there was no podcast last week.
Yeah, that's true. It's still a bit makeshift. I'm still trying to figure it out. It spent about an hour problem solving together before this, and I'm wearing a new t-shirt to celebrate. I
was looking at that whilst we were doing all the setup stuff, and I kept thinking, I swear I haven't seen that t-shirt before.
Yes. We've got some cool stuff to talk about this week.
Yes.
The Switch 2 price increase, we cannot go past that because everyone's been talking about it.
Yep.
But Nintendo promising to offer a little bit more for the money. Some talk about the Xbox Ally X's as well.
Yeah.
Some stuff about Booby Blade, our favourite game. Forza Horizon as well. And some really exciting news coming from Xbox as well.
I can't wait to talk about this.
Game preservation in the digital world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tease it without actually telling you.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
But let's kick it straight off with the Switch 2 stuff and that price increase, because be remiss of us not to talk about it. I know you did a impromptu news video about it as well.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't. And you did a very good job, Andy. Well done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, we are seeing the price. We still haven't seen the price increase confirmed for the UK as to what it's going to.
Yeah, it's strange that, isn't it? Like, I just want to start with that, really. Like, why have they announced like a concrete price for every single region other than the UK? Which seems weird. Obviously, it's going to come, and they've said that, but they just haven't nailed it. But specifically the UK being the only one left out. And then what's weird as well is Japan have these price changes effective from the end of this month. So it's like immediately, and the rest of us have like a grace period until like September. That's a bit weird. So they're kind of, I think it's tactical for the Western world of like, no, price is going up. Better buy loads of them now.
Which is what's been happening in Japan.
Yeah.
They've been selling out in all the stores. People have been queuing around the block to buy them at the cheaper price point.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I will say, in an age where we're all very tough on Nintendo about the Nintendo tax and them pricing themselves as being the more expensive, they've been the better value for a long time.
They have,
and
yes.
In fairness to them, this price increase isn't dramatic.
Yes, that's one thing I wanted to bring up as well, because whilst we've been sat waiting, I mean, again, many of our subscribers will know that we pushed out like August or something last year saying, look, prices are going to go absolutely through the roof. Buy your handhelds now. And so many people have come to us and said, thank you so much for that advice, because you look at the Legion Go 2, it's like $3,000 now, which is insane. So with all these crazy price jumps, I was thinking it's only going to be a matter of time until Switch 2 does that, but how big of a jump is it going to be? And I was thinking maybe it could go up to like 30% increase, you know, because the PlayStation's had how many increases in price over the past?
Yeah, I think 3 we've seen in the past 2 years. Yeah.
Even the Xboxes have gone up in price. So I was thinking like Switch 2 is going to have to be, you know, a much higher price point. And then seeing it was 10%, I was like, is that it? Like, I was actually surprised. I know, like, you know, nothing's good comes from prices going up. It sucks for all of us. But I fully expected a much greater increase in cost there. So just 10%, I know it sucks, but if you can't stretch yourself, like, don't break your bank just to go out and get a Switch 2 right now because it's going to be a little bit cheaper. If you're going to financially be more stable by waiting a year or something, you're only going to be paying 10% more, you know. Yeah. It's not the end of the world, in my opinion.
And there is going to be some big value bits to have. I'm sure they're going to do special deals. Well, we already actually know about it. It's a little bit later in our notes, but I'll jump straight to it now, because one of the things they're talking about trying to give value is that they've now created a new bundle for the Switch 2, which is like a pick your own game bundle.
This is news to me.
Yeah, so, you know, originally you've got the Mario Kart World bundle at launch, and it was a great value kind of deal. I think you got the game for what worked out like £30 or something.
Yes, yeah, it was basically
half price. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Now they've changed that launch bundle, so yes, it's the new starting price of $4.99, but you get to pick either Mario Kart World, Pocopia, or Donkey Kong Bonanza.
What, included in the price?
You pick one of those three. Yeah.
But for free with
For
the
for $4.99.
So the price hasn't gone up at all. You've actually got a better deal.
Yeah, it looks
because
like
you've got
yeah.
a choice.
Well, this is the confusing bit because obviously the Switch 2 price increase is apparently going from $450 to $500.
Yes.
But this pick your own game bundle is $500 that they're going to be rolling out. So either that's going to increase post September time when they do this in the West, or it's a way of them softening the blow and saying you basically get a free game with the Switch 2.
Yeah, so they're doing a Wii moment with your Switch Sports, Wii Sports, because they really Nintendo Japan did not want to give that away for free. It was Reggie in America that basically said, no, you have to give this with the Wii, like for free, and it did like phenomenally well because of that. And loads of people just had a Wii and only had Wii Sports.
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah.
So I think it was. This is news to me, and it's confusing because the Mario Kart World bundle was a limited time bundle. That wasn't going to be a forever bundle. It was like the first 12 months or whatever of the Switch 2. After that, it's going to be gone, and you'll have to pay full price again. So now you're getting a Switch 2 at, the more expensive price, but then a game of your choice as well. Out of 3 really good games there, you know, like... I don't see this
Switch 2 games.
I don't see this as a price increase. I see this as like a benefit. Like, why wouldn't you buy this over just the base console anyway? Like,
it's incredible. Like, a lot of people were complaining that the bundled game was Mario Kart World at the start because people didn't see it as enough of a game. Personally, I think I love Mario Kart games in general, so
me too.
I thought it was a great deal. But I get it; it's not for everyone. But Pocopia, universally loved. Donkey Kong Bonanza, exactly the same. Everyone likes a bit of Ooh Banana.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So to pick from 3 big hitters that have come from the first year of Switch 2 as the bundle at the same price, I'm hoping that holds firm as the price when the price increase. That's not just a mixed message that's happened.
Yeah. See, I've not actually heard anything of this, but if this is correct, that when the price goes up in like September, it's going to include a game of your choice, then to me, I don't see this as a disadvantage in any means. It's forcing you to pick a game from one of their best titles, and they're all very different. It's not Mario Kart and then some other racer and some other racer. You got 3. Like, you will like one of these 3 games if you're buying Nintendo. If you don't, why are you buying a Switch? Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, you've got Mario Kart World for the competitive online play, co-op play that you play with your kids, whatever. Pocopia for your chill, cozy vibes, and then you've got DK, which is just go and smash everything up. Like, it's hardcore, like, action platformer. If it was me and I was going to get this again, I would totally get Donkey Kong over any of the other 2. But that's just me, because I really enjoy Donkey Kong.
That's difficult. I mean, I didn't jump into Pocopia. I wanted to, but I couldn't justify the time sink. And I know you played it quite a bit.
Yeah, so my wife and I completed it, and then we sold it because the resale value was the same as retail. So I just got our money back. It's the first Switch game. I'm like, of all the ones behind me on the shelves and stuff, this is the first time I've actually sold one immediately. But sorry, I
was just trying to think of like hours spent on what would be the best value.
Mario
for entertainment.
Mario Kart is the best value by a long shot because the replay value is like infinite. But
it's a game I find myself picking up and playing still now.
Yeah. Me too, actually. I do now and again just jump in even for a single race. But I'd say, like, as an actual game that I'd want to sit down and play to completion as such, Donkey Kong would be that for me.
It's got more depth to it, isn't it? And it was an incredibly enjoyable experience. Nintendo's stock did drop 10% apart on the back of this announcement. Basically, they're factoring in what they believe to be future sales and how this price increase will affect that. I'm more positive about it. Not the price increasing because it sucks, but I mean, like, in the backdrop of how expensive everything else is now, it still comes in under everything else.
Absolutely, and I know people were commenting on my news video about it, saying, because I kind of made the point that at launch everyone was upset about the price.
Yeah.
And then loads of people were commenting going, it wasn't the console's price that was the issue, it was the games. But no, you're wrong. People had an issue with the console price and the game price.
Yep.
So it was like a double whammy, but there was definitely backlash about the actual system cost. Whereas now
do you
look
remember
at
the
it,
drop the price in all the live streams?
But
it was all
everyone kept saying, oh, that's the game price. It was like, no, it was both. It was both.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we saw the value in it immediately, and you look now against the landscape of all the other consoles out there and just handhelds or whatever it might be, it's still the best value. And if you're getting a game with it as well, like
I know. And then you look at what's possible on it, and this is the thing that really excites me. You sent me Digital Foundry's technical deep dive on Indiana Jones on the Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
And it is insane what they're able to do on this machine.
Yeah.
Utilising DLSS to its maximum.
Yeah.
Having realistic benchmarks for it, like with Indiana Jones, they go, we aim for 30 FPS, gives us more frame time to implement DLSS properly.
Yeah, yeah.
It means you still got like global illumination.
Yeah.
Screen space reflections. It's like, this is, well, visually, it was performing pound for pound with like the Series S.
In some cases, it looked better than the Series S.
Exactly, because of DLSS. And now you're getting that in a hybrid console that has access to these games and also Nintendo games for under 500 is still, in today's market, an incredible deal.
Insane. Yeah, and the fact that you just buy the one game and you've both got the home console version and the handheld version. Do you know what I mean? Like you literally pick it up, same save, no messing around. You are done. Like, it's so easy. The Switch 2 is so convenient.
And I would still say, if I was to get rid of everything and only have one console, for me it would be the Switch 2 now.
Yes. If I lost all my handhelds.
Yes. If everything went home consoles, PCs, and I only had one thing, it would be Switch 2. Or if I was sat here now looking at the market and going, what do I buy? I only want one device. I think the Switch 2 is the most versatile.
Yes. Yeah. It is the most versatile for sure. And that's what I mean. Like if you got given, I don't know, 800 and so you just come out of losing, all of your systems died. I don't know, an EMP went off in your house and it killed them all, right? And some nice person went, here's 800, do what you want with it, you know, thinking that you'd maybe, you know, build a new house or something. No, you're going to buy a games console, right?
Sit in the rubble with the Switch 2.
I would be picking a Switch 2 and then I'd spend the extra money on games. I totally would. Because again, I love the handhelds. I do. I love the PC handhelds. And obviously for me, it's easy for me to say I've got a big Steam library and all that kind of stuff. But if I had to start again from scratch, the cost of these PC handhelds is freaking unbelievable. Like getting in, it is gatekept now by the companies.
It's like laptop price, isn't it?
Yeah, it's laptop price. And it's just silly. So for the quality that you're getting, okay, you are looking at 30 FPS in most titles, but it's acceptable in a lot of instances. Yeah. It's especially when you keep that price point in mind, you know? Yeah, if you want 200 FPS at 4K, then you're going to have to spend 50, 90 prices, you know, but...
Nintendo were keen to stress in the president's announcement about price point, about how they need to show the value of the console going forward with the software lineup. Firstly, can I just say I hate it when they say software and don't say games. It really annoys me.
Yeah, it is annoying, isn't it? Yeah, because they don't make anything else other than games. Like, what are you making? Like Paint? Like, do you know what I mean? Like audio software and
they
video
meant the bundled thing that came with, the thing you had to buy, the $5 thing to show you how to use the Joy-Cons. That was software. What was that called? Did you?
Yeah. Do you not remember? I did a video on the channel about it. I don't even.
I deleted that from my mind entirely.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means necessarily when they talk about they want to show value. They've obviously got some big things lined up that they haven't announced yet.
Oh, that'll be it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there's been lots of speculation about Zelda games, about 3D Marios, and all of that could be being announced within the next 12 months. But what did you think of the Star Fox thing whilst we're still in Nintendo?
I briefly touched on this on the news thing, but it's like the 4th or 5th remake of Star Fox Lilac Wars. Like,
could we not have moved on? Because I know that the like visual part, like the character visualizations, have divided a lot of opinion. Some people
Yes.
don't like it.
Yes.
Some people really like it. I was like, it's different, and I'm always up for trying different. That's cool. Until you get to play it, it's hard to know what it feels like.
Yes. Yeah.
But could they not have just given us that with a new story arc? Because the stories aren't that deep. Are they? They're not that long.
The thing with this one is that they're trying to show that, oh, look, there is a story, because they've added a load of CGI or like rendered cutscenes or whatever. I don't know. Are they in-game rendered? I don't know. But they've added a load of cutscenes which previously were just like static faces with like little bleep, 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 like text on, which is cool. Like, I'm looking forward to all that. But it should have been a new game. It should have been a new game. And that's the thing, is I was so hyped for it. And when I started watching it, I was like, oh my God, this looks incredible. The graphics are phenomenal. Like, the gameplay looked good. And then I was like, oh, it's the same thing I've played like 50 times before. And the story's like 2 hours long. So it's like, yeah, okay, they're trying to say, look at the replay value because there's this mode and this and that. And it's like, yeah, but it's the same game, isn't it? Like,
it's the same game.
I know you're appealing to new people here, going, "Oh, look, Star Fox," and people are like, "What's that?" But the thing is Nintendo's got such a hardcore old school following. Yes. Like all of us, like have all seen it before.
There was something that did worry me about it. Was this, and I may be like reaching with this, but remaking. It's an N64 title originally, isn't it?
Well, which is a remake of a NES title.
Oh, okay. See, I was going to get at, like, are they going to be aiming at N64 and that era of games for? Because we've heard a lot about Ocarina of Time as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, is this going to be the Switch 2 era of let's remake a load of N64 games?
Maybe. I mean, it's about 10 years since they started doing all that for the 3DS. So they remade all the same Zelda games and all that kind of stuff for the 3DS from N64, which was cool. But again, I feel like we need to move on a bit now. Like, I'm fine with remakes, like especially something as large as Zelda, if it's a ground up, brand new imagining of it. Kind of like what this Star Fox looks like, you know? Mm-hmm. But with Star Fox, it's very lightweight, you know? Yeah. Like, there's not much meat in it. You know, so I just
they're very short, shallow games, aren't they?
And I love it, and you know, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to buy it. I want to play it, but I'm just disappointed that I'm just getting the same game for like the 5th time in a row. You know, like, I would have loved to have seen something new or something bigger being remade, like Adventures. You know, hate me if you want, but I love that game.
I think you're probably the only person asking for that.
Yes, probably. But I love that game. And that's like a proper game, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, it's a full-on, like, you know, action platforming game that goes on for ages.
In truth, I just wanted a new version of that game. I wanted a new story, same gameplay loop of, like, I'm going to fly around and shoot stuff.
Yeah, even if it was
obstacles.
Assault like 2 or whatever, you know, where you're still old school Star Fox in space, but then you're also on the ground with guns. Like, you know, that would have been cool. Like, just carry it on. Why did it have to just be another remake? Like, that's annoying. But
it's disappointing.
Where you're coming from, I do feel like we probably will see some big N64 titles being remade, because now it's a big enough jump that they will be able to utilize technologies like DLSS and stuff and really make it strikingly different from the original. But I don't know. I always feel like Switch 2, and I feel like it always will be like GameCube side in my heart, just because they released it with, you know, GameCube as well. And it just feels like a reimagining of the GameCube. Like, everything's very in line with that.
Just real quickly, whilst we're still in Nintendo space before I move on, there's another elephant in the room that we do have to talk about.
Oh, no.
Which is with MOBAPAD.
Oh, yes.
Now, MOBAPAD, we had worked very closely with MOBAPAD for a long time. They sponsored the channel for a while.
Yep.
And that was built off of the fact that we genuinely bought and loved their products.
Yes.
The Switch 1 generation, the M6 HDs, they were the king of Joy-Con alternatives for the longest, and their Pro controllers were amazing as well.
Yeah.
Now, this week saw finally the shipping of the first M12s, the M12 HDs, M12 S's.
No, HDs. M12 HD.
See,
they're
even
right behind me.
now, I still get confused.
Oh yeah, it's confusing. Yeah, I've got.
You obviously did
your
like first. I was going to say a like first impressions, but it turned into a Netflix because there's so much to say about it.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do like the review now.
If you want like the full deep dive of it, go watch Andy's video. It's very good. It goes into a lot of detail that a lot of other channels just have skipped. But I obviously have been paying attention to like our Discord members and their feedback from the versions they've got, and the comments on the channel as well from that video, and the things that you said in there as well. There's some big admissions that I want to like highlight and say: A, we had no idea that this was going to happen, and B, we agree with you that it's wrong. The lack of the charging grip is fundamentally flawed.
Yes. And, well, the fact that the things don't charge unless the screen is on is ridiculous. Like, that is just outrageous. Like,
and if that is a hardware limitation that can't be bypassed on the Switch 2, fine. Then you have to include the charging grip.
Well, not only that,
you have to.
They would have known this when they announced them months ago. So they omitted this information on purpose until the launch. And when they then said, oh, by the way, it doesn't even charge. Like, sorry, what? Like, people have spent $100 on these things. You know, like, that's a lot of money. Yeah. That's like a quarter almost of the price of a Switch 2 itself. And this is the thing. And I don't want to rip into them too much because I really enjoyed all of their past products. You know, I really do enjoy them. And I think these could be great. Like, I love the feel of them. Like, the quality and everything is very good. But I mean, come on. Like, I was basically saying it was rushed, and like people were trying to justify it in the comments, going, "No, it's not rushed and blah blah blah." It's like, yeah, but they have rushed it. They wanted a product out because competitors had a product out, and they didn't want to lose out on sales, whilst they try and figure out how to break Switch 2 protocol correctly. In my opinion, they should have focused on like the external controllers, like the Chitu 2, stuff like that, and then next year come out being like, look at us, we're still on top. This has all the features: HD Rumble 2, chat, 9-axis gyro, all that kind of stuff. But instead, they just went, you know what? We'll just do like one product and another one, and they've both got like half the amount of features as the other one, and no one knows what they are. And oh, hang on, these were meant to be more expensive, but wait, we've changed the name and now we're making them less expensive, and these ones are now more expensive, but it doesn't have the same features that one has. This one has Switch 1 features. It's like, it's so confusing. It's like, what are you meant to do? Like, for a normal person, that's not like, it's confusing for me, and I'm like an expert in this stuff, you know, like, and even I'm like, what is going on here? So for general public, it's just not fair. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair. So,
in the most basic sense, you can tell how rushed it was by the fact that the case that the Joy-Cons come in, the hardshell case, the travel case, it's a really nice addition. It has space for the grip in it, and a hole for a charging cable in it.
Yes.
But no charging grip put in there. So if you wanted to know how rushed the product was in general, even that part is missing.
It should have been in the box.
And in all of itself, that isn't necessarily bad. The fact they didn't communicate it with people that placed a pre-order, the only thing they did do was put a post on their Facebook page, I think it was, saying, charging grip will come, email us if you want one or something.
It's like, no, you should just look at everyone that's placed an order and send it. Don't even contact them. Like, well, contact them, do a blanket email to every order, but
Very
then
easy.
Just send it out. Like, go, look, here's everybody that's ordered. Like, send one there to there, there, and then people would get a package and be like, what's this? And then see it's, oh, look, it's MOBAPAD with a nice little letter saying, oh, sorry, like, you know, this should have come earlier, but it didn't, like, or whatever, you know. Yeah, I just have a bit of taste in my mouth about it, personally. So, yeah, I don't want to say too much because I feel like I'll just...
There's so many things they could have done. Put a voucher in the box for a free charging grip off our website when it arrives.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's loads they could have done. They didn't do it, and it left a bit... I felt a bit burnt because we had supported them so much, and you know they'd sponsored videos, and we had bought their products in the past and shouted about them a lot. So you kind of feel a little bit personally responsible when people that have bought it are upset. I'm like,
Absolutely,
I need to address that.
Yeah. That's why I, with that video, the first, like, you know, with the review, I was like, I'm just going to literally say everything as it is, because people need to know, you know, like, and that's the thing is, people will always shout at YouTubers for being like paid chills and stuff, which some of them are, absolutely. But even if a company is paying us, which we always declare in the video anyway, I will always be honest. If there's something wrong with it, I will say that, you know, like regardless. And obviously they're not paying for this one, but if they were, I still would have said all the same stuff. I would have. Even if it meant that they turned around and said, we're not paying you now, well, like we wouldn't break that integrity.
Yeah, you've got a substandard product, so of course that's not going to be a problem. Let's move on to brighter things, and that's the prices going up of things again.
Yay!
We've finally seen in the UK the Xbox Ally X have its price increase. It's long been we've long been waiting it because we've seen it elsewhere. There was no kind of press or announcement about this. It just kind of secretly happened on their website.
Yep.
Where we've seen the Xbox Ally X up from $799 to $850 or $899. What's the difference?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I was doing some research about something, and I always just check up on manufacturers to see like what prices are currently at, considering what we've been, you know, seeing recently. And then I went on the Xbox website, and I was like, $899. I was like, it's meant to be $799 here in the UK, and it said like like $899 big letters, but there was no like buy now. It says like find a retailer. So I was like, okay, well I know Curry's is a retailer, so I clicked on that, and I know for certain that was $799 not very long ago. Clicked on that, and then it said £8.50, not £8.50, $850, $850, and I was like, oh, so Xbox are saying it's 900, but all the retailers are 850, and I went on to some other retailers and they're also 850. So it's up £50, but it's meant to be up 100.
It's up £50 is totally acceptable. That's kind of in line. In fact, if you went on a percentage basis, that's better than Nintendo.
Yes.
And again, against the current backdrop of how things are, especially with the competition, it's not actually too crazy. No. $899, £900 is where I thought it would sit. That feels like you're getting into the territory where it's very hard to recommend products once they start hitting 1,000.
Oh yeah,
For like most people, it becomes very difficult.
That's why in the Switch 2 section we did, I brought up the if everything got wiped out, I would get a Switch 2 and start again with that. Just purely because you're into silly money territories now. Imagine the PS5 launching at 900. You know, back in 2020, no one would have bought it. Like everyone would have been like, "You're having a joke." Like, you know, which is what happened with even the 3DS had that problem, and then Nintendo quickly dropped the price on that. And the same with the there's so many like instances of this over time, but like 900 is just very expensive. You know, like it's very, very expensive. I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to sort my dog out.
He wanted to be in the new show. He wanted to move house too. Well, whilst Andy sorts out Onyx, I just want to talk about the mad speculation that's coming out about the PS6 and the PS6 handheld. If you see any rumours about this, I'm just going to say, honestly, right now, especially price points, it's way too early to speculate. And what's great about this is mid-conversation, Andy will have no idea what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I was just saying, really quickly, there's been some more rumours and speculation about PlayStation 6 and PSP 3, PlayStation handheld. But I was saying, at this point, in these speculations, they're talking about price points. It's just like, it's way, way too early to be even guessing what this is. Yeah. Because the muted launch... it's going to be in line with what Project Helix is, which is end of 2027. So that's kind of the window that we're looking at. It's more than a year away, so there's no way. This room is saying PS6 home console between $599 and $799, and PlayStation handheld between $499 and $699.
It's like, where are they getting that information from? They're just plucking numbers out of their, backside there.
Yeah, it's nonsense. I want to believe the hype, especially with the handheld, that it could be $499.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but
I can't imagine. Basically, because it'd be based off AMD as well.
Yeah,
I can't imagine them being able to price it cheaper than a Switch 2. At the same, is it going to be the same hardware as the Xbox Ally? In which case,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
do you know what I mean? That like the price point there doesn't make sense
doesn't
when we
make
know
any
what
sense.
AMD hardware costs because we've got AMD handhelds in the wild.
Yes, yeah, and it's going to have to be like. Surely you would expect it to be more performant than a Switch 2.
Yeah.
In which case it's going to be considerably more expensive than a Switch 2.
I mean, the speculation is that it will play PS4 and 5 and PS6 games natively.
Oh, they've changed it now to PS6 natively as well now, because before it was PS4 and 5 natively,
Yes.
which made sense, and then PS6 would be streamed, is what we assumed.
I think that's where we're at with it. If I'm honest,
that's what it's going to be, because they're 500 for native PS6 games. Like seriously,
No.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I mean, unless Project Amethyst and Pisser is like really working some DLSS-sized miracles, which it might do by 2027.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. They're going straight to RDNA 5, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're skipping a generation. Well, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So they're going straight to RDNA 5. So yeah, I think it would be possible. I think it would be able to play PS6 titles in. Just think of Series X and Series S in Xbox Land. I think it's going to be comparable to that. The thing that I do not have any faith in is that those pricings. Like that's the only thing. I have faith in the product. Sony will release something very good. Like we know they will. Even stuff they've abandoned in the past, like the PS Vita and the PSP and stuff like that, they were exceptional. I love them. Still got them on the shelf behind me. But at those price points, I just can't see it happening.
No, there's no way. I think consoles, the top end price point that there's been quoted here is where consoles are going to sit. $799, $699 for a handheld, maybe.
$799. But
that's
PS5
where we're going to be at, isn't it?
PS5 Pro's already there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be more than that. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking like $850 minimum for a PS6. It's not going to drop below the price of a PS5 Pro unless they dramatically slash the price of the PS5 Pro like beforehand.
Do you know what I think is happening here as well with these hardware manufacturers? I think it's really clever. Is that the allowing of certain bits of information to drip out, specifically around price rumors, I think is a purposeful thing because it gets us all used to these numbers much less shocking when it does happen.
And that's why when we were talking about the Xbox Ally going up to like 900, I was trying to say like 900. Do you know what I mean? Like put yourself.
But it's not very shocking now, is it?
Now it's not. No, but like just a few years ago, that's why I compared it to the PS5 release in 2020. Like that would have been like so ridiculous, you know?
Yeah,
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so I think it's purposeful because when you hear $799 now for a console, it's not as shocking as like 2 years ago when you were going, "Oh, it would never get over 5." I don't think you can get over 500 for a console. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, now it's like
the amount of podcasts we've done, like many years ago, where AJ was like, "My ceiling's 500."
Yeah, 500 is my ceiling for a console,
and that was for like your main console, and now you've got the Nintendo handheld starting at 500.
I know. Indie successes. Moving on. Mouse PI for Hire.
This is so good. Onyx, quiet. Sorry, I got to turn the dogs off.
Has sold 730,000 units in its first few days since launch, which is way higher than they were expecting. Half of that's on console, which is, I would read it as the other way, is half of that's on PC.
Yes, that's what I see it as, yeah.
Which is the more interesting part, because it's a very console-like game. But the more than that game selling well, I think it's kind of interesting, is there seems to be a trend at the moment of like more like small studio, small publisher, or indie games doing way better than expected. It seems to be a trend of the current times.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because there's more indie studios out there, so there's more chance of someone getting a hitter, But equally, there's always that indie success story throughout the years where like one indie will do extremely well, like immediately come to Hollow Knight or Axiom Verge or any of those kind of titles, right, where someone's just made something with so much love and passion and something so different. My dog disagrees. That it just jumps out there and does exceptionally well. And I'm so glad that Mouse PI for Hire is the same, because that game is so cool. Like, it's such a good game.
Yeah, I've still yet to play it. And I was hyped about it for so long, and then obviously moving house happened a bit abruptly.
There's loads of bugs in it, but whether or not they've been fixed, I haven't played it in the past like couple of weeks, but there was a load of bugs at launch, but I kind of forgave them. Do you know what I mean? Because it's an indie studio and stuff, I was just like, yeah, whatever. So I'm like playing the game with like right across the middle of the screen, it's saying, press up on the D-pad for your flashlight. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And I was still all right. Whereas if it was like Ubisoft, I would have been like, you won, you buggers. So I just accepted it for some reason.
I think maybe that's part of the thing as well with indie versus like AAA, is that we're way more forgiving of corners being cut slightly or like bugs and shortcomings. Whereas in a AAA game, even if a character looks slightly different to what we expect, everyone's up in arms about it.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a hypocrite there as well, because I can accept it from indie titles.
Yeah.
And I will play them and be like, fine, like I just said. I don't accept it from AAA studios, like big ones. But then I do not like early access. So I won't even go there. I will never buy an early access game. No,
early access can get in the sea.
Yeah, no.
I'm with you on that. I think that's a trick just to get more money out of people.
It is, yeah, exactly. And then to never finish the game. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just perpetually in early access.
From one tiny indie studio to the next, Pokemon ZA.
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest, smallest game company
exactly,
ever. Yeah, don't mind me, I'm just stripping, by the way, everybody.
They've sold 13 million units of ZA already, which is mental. What I find more mental about that is that 8.8 million of them is on Switch 1.
I know, right? But it makes sense because the Switch 1's got, like 150 million users?
I know, but it's like full potato.
Yeah, I mean, visually it doesn't look that far off the Switch 2 version, I must add. Yeah, it's just like half
just
the
lower resolution, isn't it? So it just looks a bit Vaseline-y. 8.85 million on Switch 1, 3.9 million on Switch 2. It puts it roughly like fifth of game, like of the top 5 games sold on Switch 2, puts it roughly fifth. Behind Pocopia, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Pocopia is because it's so different. I totally get it. I do get it.
Yeah, it surprised me. Oh well, I thought it was interesting because ZA is like mainline. Well, not actual mainline story, but like main Pokemon company.
I get you. Yeah.
Release.
Yeah. Pocopia is not even game free.
Yeah.
It's the Dragon Quest builders guys, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been out for a lot less time as well. It's sold more. Mario Kart World, just if you're interested, Mario Kart World's 14.7 million.
Yeah.
Which I think goes some ways to show us how many Switch 2s are out there as well, because I think a lot of that would have been bundles. 20
million, isn't there? Sold. They just came out like recently saying 19.8 or something million sold. Yeah.
Donkey Kong Bonanza's 4.5, Pocopia 4, then ZA, and then last in this list is Kirby Air Riders at 1.8.
I still haven't got that.
No, same.
I really want it though, but I don't want to pay full price for it.
Yeah, the thing that kind of put me off was it was around the same time Gamescom they were doing all the announcements, wasn't it? Because I remember talking to Kit and Krista about it.
Kit and Krista, yeah.
It's like, why have they done so many directs just on this game? It had like 15.
And they were really long as well. They're like, you basically did an entire playthrough of the game.
Really detailed. It's madness. One thing it's about indies and small studios, which is really exciting, is the sequel to Stellar Blade, or Booby Blade as we like to call it.
Yes.
Shift Up have announced that any sequel to Stellar Blade, they haven't confirmed that it's happening, but they kind of have confirmed.
Yeah.
Any sequel will be self-published by Shift Up.
Good.
That's such good news.
Yes.
Like,
I like
such
that
good news.
they rode the PlayStation money to success.
Yes.
And then went,
brilliant.
See ya.
Boy.
Yeah.
And so this was in an interview with the head of the studio, I believe it was. Their broad global audience is their aim for any future releases.
Too right.
To maximise the long-term value of the IP. So I read into that very clearly as that, yes, Stellar Blade was a success and Sony definitely helped them. But as soon as they released on PC, it went mental, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, we can expect why, because PC players like mods and they like physics. Squishy physics.
Yeah, just...
Yeah. So you can see why it happened. But I still remember what happened there. The time it took to sell 3 million copies on PS5, it did 19 times faster on PC. Wow. And then Sony come out and go, we're not going to release our games on PC anymore. Because Xbox come out and say their next console is a PC, so they sort of got butthurt and pulled out, which is stupid, but whatever. We've already moaned about that in another podcast. So yeah, I think Shift Up have gone, oh, you're not putting PlayStation games on PC anymore. We'll just do it ourselves. Bye, because they will see the value in selling 19 times faster on PC than anywhere else, and if they can get it on every system, then that's a huge win.
I'll read the quote exactly, just so you can get the magnitude of this, because I do think it's important. Yeah. So Shift Up also confirmed that Stellar Blade's eventual sequel, so it's coming, will be self-published, with the studio aiming to reach a broad global audience from day one.
Yeah.
So that tells you everything. But also, does it say anything about Switch?
I highly reckon it will be, because
it's got such Bayonetta vibes to it, like as a style, doesn't it? Like,
but they've already come out and said that they were testing it on Switch, or the first one. Yeah, so it feels like you said, totally Bayonetta vibes. It's because it's that kind of action combat kind of thing.
Action combat with like a sexy, cheeky humor to it as well, like a wink to the camera almost. That's the Bayonetta, my Bayonetta memory. Yeah,
Bayonetta is way more like break the fourth wall about it. But yeah, I could imagine a Bayonetta and Stellar Blade collab. Do you know what I mean? Like 100%. A mashup. Like in the next Bayonetta that there'll be Eve from Stellar Blade or something like that. But yeah, I'm 99% certain when they hit a certain milestone, Shift Up bought every single employee a Switch 2. So I mean that tells you everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, and for them to say day one, it just makes perfect sense. They did something phenomenal with that game. I think it makes all the sense to go multiplat. Basically what Square was saying before.
Yes.
When they were exclusive to PlayStation, and then they released Rebirth and it tanked, and then they went, oh, by the way,
other platforms exist.
Yeah. We're not going to be exclusive on PlayStation Day 1 anymore. Oh, I wonder why that is. Yeah.
Because Rebirth looked horrible. It looked like a Switch version on the PS5.
The Switch version looks better than the PlayStation 5 version.
Well, I think they've ironed out a lot of the problems. But
by making a newer console, a PS5 Pro. Yeah.
That was exactly how do we fix this? More power.
Yeah. Jam a new graphics card in
it. That's exciting though, because I think Stellar Blade is... A, should be day one everywhere, and B, it should be on the Switch platform as well.
Yes.
Specifically Switch 2. Mm-hmm. And if more and more of these non-first-party studios and publishers go all platforms day one, it's only a good thing for everyone.
Yes.
You get to choose where you want to play this now, and that's great. For the handheld space specifically, it's exciting.
Yes, and I know this is a bit of a spin-off, but I'm really enjoying seeing companies implementing like Steam Deck mode or whatever in games. Like I just did a Will It Run plug, everybody, if you want to play Directive 8020 by Supermassive.
Great looking game, by the way.
Yeah, really good. I did a Will It Run video, and this time I have included all the handhelds. So this time I did the OG Ally, the Ally X, the Xbox Ally, the Xbox Ally X, and the Legion Go 2. And just today, we finally got Punching the Microphone, an MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. I'm reading it out for any listeners that aren't watching. So I'm holding up an MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. We finally got one back. So now that will also appear, much to everybody has been demanding to see that in those videos. But anyway, sidetracking.
Sorry.
Oh, go on.
And really quickly, I will let you have the Steam Deck that's here, and you can include that as well, because I saw people kicking off about it.
Everyone's been complaining about that for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
So it was my fault. I sold my Steam Deck ages ago to fund the Ally X or whatever it was that I ended up buying. But anyway, like we will include everything that we have now going forward. So that game, I wasn't expecting it, but there's a Steam Deck preset in it. Amazing. And I was like, really? Like these games are quite visually like demanding, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting to run everything on low or whatever. But no, there's a Steam Deck profile, and it runs really well on the handheld.
One thing that Xbox or the Windows team really needs to get a handle on very quickly is ensuring that if there's a Steam Deck mode, that there's also a Xbox handheld mode.
Yes,
because the Steam Deck mode only appears when you've got SteamOS installed. If you're playing off Windows, it doesn't show Steam Deck mode.
Yeah, you have to mod the file to get it to pop up. So it is there, but yeah.
And that should be on the Xbox or Windows team to really work at that.
And also, you've got to think about like branding and memorabilia. Like people will now associate like just handheld with Steam Deck. Like they're very cleverly gone, oh look, it only appears on SteamOS. And it says Steam Deck mode, which is a device. It's not saying handheld mode, which is what Xbox implemented with Xbox games, where it just says handheld mode. And I get it. You're trying to be nice, like, you know, like, oh, look, it works on any handheld. And it's the right thing to do. But because, like, Steam Deck has a branded name associated with it. It's like when you say Hoover, you know, instead of vacuum. It's like you're saying the brand because it's ingrained into you. So it's... Yeah,
they could have gone as simple as like Xbox mode, or and then when the new PC comes out, the new Xbox comes out, it's Helix mode.
Something like that.
They need to get on that really quickly. They started with their default power profile thing, and their handheld optimized like badges on stuff.
That's fine because that's fine because that's like applies separately to the graphics settings. That's just managing the power of the device for you. But there needs to be an in-game setting.
100%.
Yeah.
And if they can get developers to do it, or publishers or developers, whoever it is, they're twisting arms, if they can get them to do it for the Steam Deck, they can 100% get it to do it for something that Microsoft own. Like,
I think they've missed it. Personally,
yeah.
I think developers now just focused on Steam Deck mode because it's a baseline. It's the worst performing handheld. I'm sorry, everybody, but it's the oldest. You know, yeah. So in terms of like performance, like you've got to hit this minimum requirement. So it's like, well, if it runs okay and there's a Steam Deck preset, then anything else is just fair game. It's going to run better. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it is a shame that it didn't just come out as being handheld mode or whatever. But I mean, it's a benefit for Valve. It's a big benefit.
Well, if nothing else, the Xbox or Windows team have to get on board of having it show up and not have to have the players mod it themselves for it to show up when playing on Windows.
Yeah, automatically selected. Yeah. Yes.
If you're in Xbox mode, it should be there as an option.
Yeah, I think it does. I'm testing a screen, like an external monitor. And I was playing Doom: The Dark Ages for research purposes. You know?
Of course, full work research purposes.
Yes, so that's what I was doing this morning. And I had the Xbox Ally X plugged into it, and I played Doom: The Dark Ages, and I'm pretty certain that auto-detected and just immediately did handheld mode, because I just reformatted my Xbox Ally X to get ASR working. So, yeah. I think it does automatically select handheld mode. I might be wrong, though.
That's good. Yeah. Talking of handheld modes, it's actually a really nice segue because Forza Horizon 6 is on the horizon. It's one of those kind of damn buster games that happens that everyone gets excited about, especially if you like car games. I really like these games. I don't play them like for like into their depth, but I really do like picking up and playing them. Great fun. It was announced day before yesterday that it is Steam Deck verified, and on our Forza website, it's optimized for PC gaming handhelds, including Xbox ROG Ally and Ally X, for launch at May 19th. So optimized for handhelds from launch, which is awesome news.
Yeah.
For such a big game.
Yep.
What I thought was weird, considering it is a Xbox game, is in this announcement, the announcement is it's verified for Steam Deck, and that the Xbox handhelds were like a footnote in the announcement.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, I guess what they're trying to play on that branding because the Steam Deck is probably the most bought PC handheld.
Oh, it must be. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to put it in the faces of Steam Deck owners saying, look, your aging hardware can still run this game that's brand new, so go buy it at full price instead of paying for a Game Pass. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a marketing ploy, isn't it? Like, everything they do is very, very calculated for a reason, and they're trying to squeeze the money out of the Steam Deck boys. Which is fine because they've done the work. Clearly, if it works, it works. So I'm glad it's Steam Deck verified. Don't get me wrong, but it's tactical that they've done that, I think.
Yeah, but quite possibly. I think it's a shame that they can't get their ducks in a row and just be like, look, if you just shout Xbox and Xbox devices constantly as the front of your sentence, for the games that you own, then people will start to conflate the two together, and that Steam Deck's the footnote, and your handhelds are the headline.
I agree. Yeah, it makes sense that it should say optimized for Xbox Ally, you know, and then footnote and other PC handhelds / Steam Deck,
and is Steam Deck verified. Oh, cool! It's Steam Deck verified. But anyway, the good news story is that it's Steam Deck verified, which is pretty amazing for such a demanding open world game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, fair play. They've obviously done the work.
I mean, when does verified on Steam Deck get like moderated? Because to get verified on Steam Deck doesn't mean that it works. It just means it opens without
and text
having
is
to
legible
use...
and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, like it just means that it opens. Doesn't actually mean like you're going to get 30 FPS or above. Like you could be getting 15 FPS and it still says verified.
Here's the thing. I think if they've managed to get it to run on the Xbox Ally,
it's going to work on the Steam Deck. Yeah.
It'll work on the Steam Deck as well. So it'll play in some way or another. We were playing Forza Horizon 5 on the Xbox Ally, I believe, at Gamescom.
We were.
So they managed to optimize a version for that.
Yes.
And it was running okay, to be fair, wasn't it?
It runs fine. Even Directive 8020 that just came out, like it runs really good on the base white Xbox Ally, so it'd be fine on Steam Deck as well. Yeah.
The final and big story of the week is still in Xbox land. We're looking at the next generation. Stories came out this week that there's a Project Positron. Yes, Positron. Coming out of Xbox, which is rumoured to be their disc to digital system on how they bring your library of disc games from the past into what is now this digital first world.
Yes.
And I could not be more excited for this.
I am so hyped, but I want to put a pin in it.
Oh no. Don't put pins in it.
I didn't know that it was called Positron.
Yes, it's called Positron.
What is that? An Autobot or a Decepticon? Like
they live on the dark side of the moon. Definitely.
Yeah, like,
the Positrons.
The Positron. Like I'm just imagining. I'm literally imagining. Yeah, I'm literally imagining like Transformers, like 80s like artwork going on.
Optimus Positron.
Yeah. Like what? But okay, so name aside, this is some of
Robots
the
in disguise.
This is some of the best news I've heard in ages. As a physical collector, as you are, like the digital crossover is incredibly frustrating.
So frustrating. Yeah.
I hate it. Like, it's one or the other. There's like no in between now. It's really frustrating. So this could fix all that.
Yeah.
If they get it right.
And that's the point. They have to get this right if they're going to do it. Because it's such a prickly topic. People hold on to the physical ownership in consoles. So almost religiously now, we like hold on to this ownership thing. Where in PC gaming, it's just not been the case for the longest time.
Oh, yeah.
But in consoles, we have collectors. We talk about the resale market and lending games. And I've for a long time been surprised at how embracing the hardware manufacturers are of that part of the marketplace, of pre-owned and of lending. Because they don't need to. There's no benefit to them.
No.
But they have kept it going. They have embraced it. This could be a way of moving people that have got digital games and allowing them to have full access to like the Xbox infrastructure of those games. Talking about Play Anywhere and like Xbox cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Because right now, if you've got a physical version of the game, you don't have access to Play Anywhere and you don't have access to Xbox Cloud of that title.
Yeah, and you're paying the same price.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So firstly, it's how do you get people with their physical collections access to all the digital services that are attached to buying their game?
Yes.
Which I think is really exciting. So
Yeah.
it could be massive. How they get around like the DRM part of it, like the lending, reselling, like buy it day one, register it on your account and then flog it, that's going to be the tricky bit.
There must be a way. Like, we've actually talked about this in the past, quite a while ago now, I think, where, I mean, most games aren't even on the disc now anyway. It's literally a disc with a license spinning around that it checks, and that's it. So, like, even if it had the game on it, regardless, it still has the license on it. So that's what it's checking for, because you normally install off the disc anyway, and then that disc is defunct, like, you know, it's just reading the thing. So there's two ways about it. I've always thought, why couldn't they just register the key off of the disc to your account?
Yep.
And then it makes it completely, like, you know, what I'm trying to say, like,
linked
redundant.
to your account only.
Yeah, it's linked to your account. So if anyone else tried to use it, tough doo-doos. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's it. You cannot, I'm sorry, but this has been redeemed. It's like a scratch code on the back when you get a pre-order thing. Like, and then it goes, no, this has been used.
You know,
but then you could unlink it if you wanted to sell it.
I was just going to say that. A register deregister system that if they did want to make sure that they are embracing the pre-owned market, which they get nothing for, but if they did want to like we're for the players here, and people that do want to do this, we acknowledge it. Yeah, register, deregister from your account, which is a bit like the eject system for Switch 2 a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can imagine it looking a bit like that.
Yes.
Like insert, eject the like digital cards.
The
and stuff.
Virtual key cards. Yes. Yeah.
And that way you can sell. Lending, I think, will be fully embraced because there's been talked about for a long time, which is like a family and friends system. They've already talked about a Game Pass family pack.
Yes. Yeah.
Which they need to bring in because it's mad if you've got two people in a household. Why are you both paying for Game Pass? That's insane.
It's stupid, yeah.
So a family and friends system, I think, would be great. And that just brings them fully in line with Steam. And as they move into the PC space with Helix, more and more they have to come in line with what Steam, the leading marketplace, is doing.
Yeah. And even Nintendo are embracing it. You know, you can lend games there.
Yeah.
You can even play multiplayer games with only one of you owning the title. And you know what I mean? Like on multiple systems.
You can stream Switch 2 games onto a Switch 1.
Switch 1, yeah. So you can have literally like 4 or 5 people playing.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they've fully embraced lending.
Yes. So I think, and they've embraced the key card thing, which again lets you eject and then sell it and all that kind of stuff. I think they're going that way. So if Xbox can crack this right, I'll be really happy because I've got loads of old Xbox games. What this also means is it's a surefire way of getting backwards compatibility for the future systems.
Yes.
So if you've got someone that's got like a load of games, old titles, Xbox 360, Xbox One, plus series games physically, then you move into Helix and it's going to be very digital focused. They're going to have to rebuild the whole system on how that's backwards compatible because it's going to be a PC. You know, if you can then pop in your discs on your Helix and it will register the license from those discs onto your account so that now I can emulate all eras of Xbox on my handhelds, on my Helix, like whatever. They've just absolutely won there, like totally won.
Yeah. And imagine then you've got access to like classic Xbox 360 games, let's say. You've now got access to them play anywhere.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
if
That's
you've got
what I
a
mean.
handheld, you can just pick it up and play. Or you want to go play it on the PC in your lounge, or you're one of those
Exactly
people
that.
like that's so cool. They absolutely win with this. They have to implement it correctly, and I think a register deregister system is the way of doing it, which is, like we've said, imagining how like the Switch 2 virtual carts work. I imagine it would feel like that. We've also got to acknowledge that this is catering for a really diminishing part of a rapidly diminishing part of the console market.
Yeah.
PlayStation's last quarter, 85% of all software sales on PlayStation last quarter was digital.
Yeah.
So only 15% of games sold on PlayStation was physical. Capcom have said 93% of all their sales digital.
It's because they're probably all on Steam.
Yeah. That. I mean, they are, I would say, of recent years, like the leading publisher. Like,
Oh, I love them. Yeah. I'm
some
biased,
of the
yeah.
but some of the technically best games as well. And when you look at like sales success, they've always been right up there in the sales. 93% all digital.
Yeah.
It's catering for a really small part of the market, but we have to acknowledge it's probably the loudest part of the market because it's us slightly older gamers that are like, this is really important to us. I want to own my game. I want to have the case on the shelf. I want ownership.
I want that, but I want to be able to register that license to my account and then make them digital. Mm-hmm. Because what pisses me off is having titles that I don't play. Do you know what I mean? Like that aren't play anywhere. That like I want to do this without having to download emulators and all that kind of crap.
Do you know what I mean? One thing that I really hope that it would get rid of entirely is the need to get up and put the disc or cartridge in the system to play that game.
That is the thing I hate currently. Like if I can just register them all and they're digitalized, because I'm like on PC. I mean, my Legion Go 2 has got a 4 terabyte drive in it. I can just download everything I want, and then I never have to do anything. I can just load it up. I hate it with my Switch 2 because I'm an idiot and I bought everything physical. Like my games are downstairs. If I'm up here in the studio, I'm like, oh, I'll test this thing out. Where's like my games? I'm like, oh, they're downstairs by the sofa. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, like go downstairs, find it. And then I'm like, oh, the game's not there. My wife's got it. And she's somewhere else, or she's at work and she's in London or something. And I'm like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so frustrating. Whereas if it was digital, it would be so much easier. And even if she was away, I'd be like, can you just send me the game back? Yep. And then she could do that. Like, it would be so easy. So yeah, that's the one thing that annoys me the most is just being lazy. And I want access to it now.
Yeah. And I fully embrace that comfort part of digital, which is, I think is great. If this gets rid of that as well, I think it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Weirdly, since I got an Xbox, I've not bought a single physical game for it. I don't know how long it's been, 2-3 years since I've had an Xbox.
Whenever Starfield came out.
When did Starfield come out? Yeah.
3 years?
I think it is 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not bought a single physical game for it, so I've gone all digital on that, and I love that.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remove games from it all the time, knowing that, if I want to play that game, I'll just download it again.
That's what I think I'm going to have to start doing with my Switch 2, is I want to go digital, because it's annoying, the cartridges.
It is exactly that. As I've moved house as well, that's the thing that's really told me is having physical games is a pain in the ass.
Yep.
I cannot tell you. You can't see it off camera, but I've got these fitted wardrobes behind you in this spare room.
Yeah.
And they're like floor to ceiling, full width of the room. They are filled with those games that were behind me on those bookshelves. I've got nowhere to put them.
Yes.
Like, what do I do with them all?
Yeah.
I don't know now.
Yeah, but that's the thing with me. Like, again, the studio here is
Yeah.
like a whole room just of games. Like
Shrined game cases.
Yeah. And now that I've been lazy and I film everything at this desk rather than the other side of the room, you can't even see them anyway. So what's the point of having them there? Do you know what I mean? It was, so
It looks cool.
If I could register them all and then just set them on fire, that'd be great.
I get the impression that PlayStation are working on something similar, which is why we started to see a couple of weeks ago the temporary DRM thing that they were implementing.
Yeah.
You know, the 30-day DRM thing. I've got a feeling that they're working on something similar as well.
Yeah, I reckon they will be. They would have got wind of what Xbox is doing.
Yeah.
And been like, okay, or they would have been doing it at the same time regardless, but yeah.
Yeah. This was reported on by Jez Corden.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows Jez Corden. He does caveat that a lot of this is speculation. Take it as that right now, but it is what's being actively discussed behind the scenes.
Good. Yeah, no, I'm all for it.
The only bit that I hope is speculation is the Project Positron name.
Yes. All I think of is a screwdriver, as a posi drive, like screwdriver.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Isn't a positron something in science?
Maybe.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's like positron. It's something to do with an atom, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. But
let us know in the comments what a
that.
positron is.
Yes.
And what do you think about this physical to digital thing? In the comments, let me know, because I'm just seeing the positives here. I'm trying to be our normal optimistic self. And I know for a fact that there'll be some people that will see the negatives that I've not seen and will let us know quite loudly.
Oh,
but it's cool because it makes me see the other perspective that I hadn't considered. I always go into all of this with this kind of naive, like, oh, this sounds really cool.
I think it is good, though. I can't see any negative with this. You know, like, because if you can deregister it, it's fine. And even if you can't deregister it, then that's a choice that you can make. You don't have to do it. It's not going to force you to. Like, if you want to still just put the disc in, then do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, So, yeah.
Anyway, let us know down in the comments what you think about it all. And going back to the start, do you think and agree with us that the Switch 2 is still the best value right now? Especially in the handheld space. Let us know down in the comments. Whilst you're down there, make sure you like this video. Subscribe for more handheld gaming content from my new bedroom.
Yes.
It will probably change again by the next time you see it because I've got a new desk coming and I broke everything to get this filming.
That's very true, yeah.
It worked though, we got there in the end.
I know. And it's really annoying because I really like the look of it and now you're going to have to rip it all apart when you get a new desk and change it again.
Yeah. I love moving house.
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, so until the next time.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Bye.